The night before his wedding to my sister, Noah kissed me, and I let him. The Sterling estate overlooked the Hudson River just far enough from Manhattan to feel like a private kingdom. Built of white stone and ivy, it was the kind of house where appearances mattered more than love ever had. I was Maya Sterling, the quiet sister, the second daughter, not unpretty but never remarkable, not in a world where Lena existed. Lena, my older sister, was everything a mother like ours could dream of. Blonde, elegant, born with that instinctive ability to glide through a ballroom and make people lean in just to catch her laughter. And she was marrying Noah Blake, heir to one of the largest railroad fortunes in the Northeast. He was tall, precise, polished, the kind of man society admired and trusted. But they didn't know what I knew. They didn't see the way he looked at me when no one was watching. The Sterling Blake wedding had been splashed across every paper from Boston to Baltimore. Two dynasties uniting, vineyards and railroads. My mother hadn't slept in weeks, obsessing over cutlery sets and floral arrangements. The wedding would be hosted at our Hudson estate, with guests arriving by steamboat. Failure wasn't an option. A scandal would devastate my father's position on the city's wine export board. And Lena, who had recently been courted for a European fashion column, would be destroyed socially if the wedding didn't proceed perfectly. And me? I'd be the girl who ruined everything. The girl who kissed her sister's fiancé. The girl who couldn't forget that night 2 months ago in the greenhouse when Noah had brushed my fingertips and said,
"I think I met the wrong sister first."
The rehearsal dinner glittered beneath paper lanterns strung through the orchard. Lena was late, again. Noah stood alone by the fountain, untouched champagne in hand. His jaw clenched in a way that told me he hadn't slept. I shouldn't have approached him. I was in soft peach silk, my mother's disapproval sewn into every thread, but I moved anyway. "She'll be here soon," I said, though I wasn't sure I believed it.
"Did you know she hasn't spoken to me in 3 days?"
Noah asked, voice low. "Not really. Just nods and rehearsed smiles. I don't think she wants to marry me." "Then why?"
"Because your mother told her to."
I didn't know what to say. The music drifted on the breeze. Across the lawn, guests were sipping champagne and admiring the landscaping. Then Noah leaned in, so close I could see the faint scar on his chin.
"Do you ever wonder, Maya, if things could have been different?"
"Noah..."
"Don't lie."
And then he kissed me. And for one devastating second, I kissed him back. My hand trembled as I pulled away. I can't. My voice cracked. His eyes were searching mine, filled with something between longing and regret.
"I never should have proposed to her. I was trying to do the right thing. I thought maybe, over time."
I turned, escaping across the lawn, heart racing. Inside, the chandeliers glowed in golden defiance. I ducked into the drawing room, breathing hard. Then I heard footsteps behind me, and turned, expecting Noah. But it wasn't him. It was my father, holding a sealed envelope with gold wax. He looked pale.
"This just arrived. Delivered by private courier."
The envelope was thick, my name written in Lena's dramatic script. I opened it, fingers shaking, reading aloud, trembling. "Maya, if you're reading this, I'm already gone. I can't do it. I can't marry someone I don't love to make Mother happy. Noah deserves someone who sees him, not just someone who looks right beside him. You see him, I know you do, you always have. And he sees you. Don't come after me. This is the only way I could make it right." Lena, gone? She'd run? On the night before her wedding? I staggered back against the wall, the letter trembling in my grip. A knock came at the door, then my mother's voice.
"Maya, where's your sister? She's late for her final fitting."
The bride was missing. The guests had already arrived, and I was holding a letter that changed everything.
"If Lena doesn't walk down that aisle in the next 3 hours,"
my mother hissed,
"you're going to put on her dress and save this family."
The Sterling estate was humming with tension. Footmen arranged rose petals with military precision. Musicians tuned their strings under the portico. The scent of lavender drifted from the upper rooms where the bride's dressing chamber stood empty. Lena hadn't come home last night. Her note sat folded in my skirt pocket like a burning secret. Only my father and I knew she was gone. And Noah, the man she was supposed to marry, was waiting in the study downstairs, calm on the outside, a storm beneath. I hadn't seen him since the kiss, or since I read the letter that shattered everything.
Do you understand what this wedding means?
My mother barked as she clutched my wrists. She didn't know Lena was gone. She thought the bride was having cold feet. She believed she could still fix it with lashes and lace and threats.
The Whitmores are here, the Blakemores, and Parliament sent a representative. If this wedding falls apart, so does your father's vineyard contract in Kent. Your sister will marry him.
I should have told her the truth. I should have handed her the letter, but I didn't. Because part of me, selfish, terrified, wanted her to believe that maybe it wasn't Lena who should marry Noah at all. Noah found me in the library. The sun had begun its descent, casting gold across the marble floor. I was curled on the leather settee, clutching Lena's letter and every ounce of guilt I had.
Where is she?
His voice didn't tremble, but his jaw clenched. I stood slowly. Gone.
Gone where?
I handed him the letter. His eyes scanned it in silence. Then he looked up, pain flashing sharp across his face.
She never loved me.
I shook my head. She thought you loved me.
I did. God help me. I still do.
And then, without warning, he pulled me into him and kissed me again. But this time, I didn't kiss him back, because this wasn't a secret anymore. The door creaked open behind us. We froze. My mother. Her hand gripped the doorway like she'd aged 10 years in a second. Icily.
Where is your sister?
No one spoke. Her eyes flicked to the letter on the floor, then to Noah's hand, still resting on my waist. Understanding dawned.
You little fool! You've destroyed everything. You think he'll marry you now? After this scandal? After your sister ran away?
She advanced, fury rising.
You'll beg me to find a man who'll take you after this. You'll be ruined.
Let me marry her.
Noah said. The room went silent. Even I couldn't breathe.
Lena is gone. The guests are here. The arrangements are made. And you want a wedding, don't you?
He turned to me.
Matter of fact, Lome.
I stared at him. Noah Blake, my sister's almost husband, my secret love. And now, asking me to marry him under false pretenses? You're not doing this because you love me.
No, I'm doing it because I won't let you be punished for her choices.
I wanted to say yes. My body ached with it, but I couldn't be another arrangement, another solution, soft but firm. No, not like this. His shoulders sagged, but he nodded. Behind me, my mother turned on her heel and stormed out, but the worst wasn't over, because 10 minutes later, a servant came running with a telegram. The message was simple, a single sentence that cracked everything open. Reading aloud, stunned. Lena has been seen boarding a train to Dover, under the name Mrs. Jameson Blackwell. My heart stopped. Jameson Blackwell was a man I knew very well. He was my ex-lover, and my biggest mistake. She didn't just run off with a stranger. She ran off with the man who once ruined me, Jameson Blackwell. The name tasted like rust in my mouth. He was poetry and poison, chaos wrapped in charm, the son of a shipping baron gone bankrupt, who preferred poker tables and political rallies over family legacy. He'd been my mistake once, my secret, my weakness, my first. I met him the summer I turned 17, before Noah, before Lena's engagement, before I understood how far a girl could fall just by wanting something she wasn't supposed to have. He left with a promise he never kept, and now, 4 years later, he had resurfaced, with my sister on his arm. The telegram sat open on my father's desk. Mrs. Jameson Blackwell. That's how Lena had signed herself when she boarded a train to Dover. The wedding was supposed to start in 2 hours. Guests were already changing into their silks. The orchestra was warming up on the garden lawn. My mother still didn't know Lena was gone. Noah was pacing the room like a man being measured for his own execution.
How much does he know about you and Jameson?
My father asked quietly. Nothing. And that was the worst part. Because Noah loved me, or said he did, but he didn't know who he was loving. Not really. Noah shut the study door behind him, cutting us off from the noise outside.
Tell me what happened with him.
I turned my back to him, pressing my fingers against the glass window pane. The orchard outside shimmered in gold. I didn't want to answer, but I owed him the truth. I was 17. He was older, smart, intense. He made me feel like I wasn't invisible for once.
And then?
Noah asked. He kissed me in the bell tower of St. James Chapel, I said, exhaling, then disappeared with my diary and my dignity. I never saw him again.
Until now.
I nodded. Until now. His voice dropped.
So why her?
Because she's everything I wasn't. Beautiful, confident, reckless enough to run off with him.
You think that's why he took her?
I turned to face him. No, I think it's why she went. Noah crossed the room in 3 quick steps.
Then what do you want, Maya? Tell me. Right now. Because we don't have time for silences and secrets.
His hand caught mine. Fingers rough, warm, familiar.
Do you want to marry me?
My mouth opened, but no sound came out.
Because I'll do it. I'll marry you right now. No one else has to know. Your family gets their perfect wedding. I get the only woman I've ever actually wanted.
But what about the lie? What about when they find out?
Let them. Let the whole world know. I'd rather live in truth with you than in ceremony with her.
My chest was rising and falling too fast. I could barely breathe. Then he leaned in, forehead pressed to mine, and whispered,
Say yes, Maya. Just say it.
and I did something terrible, something honest. I kissed him. It wasn't sweet. It wasn't soft. It was years of want and silence and stolen glances and guilt crashing into a single breathless moment. His hands were on my back, in my hair, pulling me closer until nothing else existed but skin and breath and heat. We can't, I gasped, pulling away.
We already did.
I looked at him, at the man who was once my sister's fiancé, at the man who might now be my only way forward. Outside the study window, I saw the movement first. A carriage, 2 horses, and a woman in a crushed lavender gown stepping out into the sunlight. Lena. She was back, and she wasn't alone. Behind her stepped Jameson Blackwell, with a smug smile and his hand firmly around her waist. The wedding was starting in 60 minutes, and the story wasn't over yet. I was about to marry the man my sister left behind, until she came back with the one I ran from. The estate was too quiet, like the house itself was holding its breath. Lena stood in the front hall like a painting out of place. Wind-swept curls, lavender silk wrinkled at the hem, her face flushed with what I first mistook for excitement. But then she looked at me, and I saw the truth. She hadn't come home for love. She'd come home to win. Behind her, Jameson Blackwell scanned the room like it belonged to him. That same smug smirk, that same cold spark in his eyes that once made me lose my mind, and my innocence. He tipped an invisible hat to me.
Maya.
He drawled.
Still setting fires, I see.
The music had already started on the lawn. Guests were sipping champagne. A minister waited beneath a trellis of orchids. You ran, I said to Lena.
I changed my mind,
she said with a shrug.
Isn't that what women are always accused of?
You disappeared without a word.
I left you a letter.
You didn't tell them you were eloping. She blinked as if it hadn't occurred to her that the word meant anything anymore.
We're not married, she said. Jameson and I, we got as far as the border. Then I realized he wasn't the one I wanted after all.
And who is? I asked, already knowing. She said it without shame.
Noah.
I heard the door creak open behind me and felt Noah step up beside me, silent as a ghost. His presence changed the air. Lena's voice changed too.
I made a mistake,
she said, suddenly breathless.
I was scared. But I love you, Noah. I always did.
He stared at her. No expression. Then he looked at Jameson.
And you?
Jameson shrugged.
She's not mine to keep. Never was.
You knew about us, I said, trying to stay calm. Jameson met my eyes and smiled.
You were never subtle, Maya. You watched you like you hung the damn moon. Even a man like me could see it.
My mother stormed into the room, her face pale, her pearl necklace slightly askew.
What is going on? The guests are seated. The minister is waiting.
I turned to Noah, who still hadn't spoken. His eyes were locked on mine, fierce, raw, unapologetic. Do you still want to marry me? I whispered. He stepped forward, slowly, surely, and he said, clear enough for the walls to remember.
I want a life with you. Not a cover story. Not a show. Just you.
Silence. Then my father's voice, calm and strange.
Then say your vows now, and let the rest happen how it may.
She looked at me, then at Noah. Then she gave a small, dry laugh and folded her arms.
You know, I tried to convince myself I loved you,
she said to him.
that if I looked good on your arm, the rest would follow. But love doesn't work that way, does it?
She turned her eyes to me, cool, unreadable.
You actually feel things, Maya. That's always been your problem.
No venom, just truth. Then she slid her hand through Jameson's arm and looked toward the door.
I don't want him. I just don't want you to have him either. But it looks like that ship sailed.
A beat of silence.
Come on, Jameson. Let's go scandalize someone else.
And just like that, she walked out, flawless, unbothered, and exactly who she's always been. The garden had fallen silent. The quartet stopped mid-song. Dozens of faces turned toward us, expecting Lena Sterling to walk the aisle in ivory silk and diamonds. But I stepped through the arch instead, hand in hand with Noah, the minister beside us. A murmur swept through the crowd like wind through glass. Gasps, whispers. One elderly woman fainted directly into her husband's lap. I heard someone hiss,
That's not the Sterling daughter he's marrying.
Yes, it is.
Noah said, voice calm, clear, unbothered. He looked at me, then out at the crowd.
Sometimes love finds its way through the wrong doors first. Today it found the right one.
The hush cracked, just for a second. Then someone clapped. Then, polite, confused, but not horrified. Because in that moment, we gave them something better than perfect. We gave them a story. By morning, it was already in the papers. Scandal turned fairy tale. Noah Blake marries younger Sterling sister in daring last-minute ceremony. The wrong bride, the right vows. What really happened at the Hudson estate? My mother refused to speak to the press, but someone slipped the minister a note. It was unplanned, he said, but it was unforgettable. We became the wedding people whispered about. Not because it failed, but because it burned down every rule and still ended in vows. That night, we stood out in the orchard where it all began. The wedding dress I never intended to wear had fallen from my shoulders, forgotten. The moonlight touched everything silver, like the world had reset itself.
You sure about this?
Noah asked, running his hand through my loose hair. About what?
Being the one people will whisper about. The scandal. The girl who stole her sister's groom.
I leaned in, pressed my lips to his neck, to his mouth. I didn't steal anything, I whispered. You were always mine. He looked at me like he'd waited his whole life to hear that, and maybe I'd waited just as long to say it. The world would talk, the papers would twist it, but we would wake up together every day after, not needing to explain a damn thing. Because he didn't choose me in secret. He chose me in front of everyone. And I finally chose myself.